Hey y'all, it is Voluptuously Skinny. I am here with my post-op week 154. These weeks are going by super duper fast. Let's start with stats. I always start with stats, even though I know you guys know, but if we have new subscribers and new people who are just joining in, I am like I said, 154 weeks out. That's almost 3 years post-op. And I started this journey at 370 pounds. And I always say it was probably more than that. I'm sure it was just that I had come home from Washington, D.C. after a wonderful trip, but tiring trip. And when I got on the scale, I was 369.9. And I literally still feel to this day like I probably lost 5 to 10 pounds on that week-long trip because I walked and walked and walked, and we packed our lunch most of the time. So we really ate very well while we were there and sweated like crazy. So anyway, close to 400 pounds when I started this journey, and when I inquired that July of 2015 with the surgeon, I was 369.9. So I ended up going to the nutritionist and going to her often prior to my surgery. I lost 40 pounds. So I had my surgery at 329.6. So I lost about 40 pounds. And yeah, about 40 pounds. And then had my surgery on 9/16 of 2015. And went on to lose another 120 to 125 pounds, and then kind of was at a standstill. And that was probably around year one. After year one, that's about how much I lost. And so I was at a standstill right around 200 pounds, 199, 198, and all of that. So anyway, started walking, then started running. And with the running, y'all, I lost another probably anywhere between 60 to 65 pounds. So running has definitely been integral in me keeping the weight off and maintaining my weight. So definitely when you get to a point where you're trying to maintain or you want to get off those last pounds, find an activity that you can go hard in the paint with and that you really enjoy, and just go for it, because that weight will start to come off again. I got down at my lowest to 138 pounds, which was not good at all. And I wasn't trying to get down to that weight. What happened was when I picked up running, I was still eating as if I was losing weight because I didn't really know any better. So I was eating very low carb, and my calorie intake was probably, I don't know, maybe 1,500 to 1,800. I could have been in the 2,000s. I can't really remember. I'm sure that I was sometimes, because the running it was making me much more hungry. But like I said, I was keeping it low carb, and so I got down to 138 pounds, and I was losing a lot of muscle at that time, just because I didn't know that my body needed so many more carbs to fuel those runs and to keep my body healthy and to keep my muscle intact and to repair the muscle. So that's one of the things about running that or any exercise, once you start to get into more exercising, once you start to reach that maintenance level, you have to increase your calories and you have to increase your carbs. The other thing that I found out was when I was exercising or when I was running, those extra calories, I never ate those extra calories. And so many times, if you look at your total number of calories and you subtract your calories from your exercise, you have a net calorie amount. And so that net calorie many times was going into the negative. And so that means that, like, I was using everything that my body was getting. And that net calorie should not go into the negative, especially not often. as often as mine was. It was really going, I mean, it'd be like negative 800, negative 200. I would not eat those extra calories. So what I found out was that I should be eating anywhere upwards to about 85% of those calories back. So right now, a lot of times I will eat those calories. Sometimes I don't, but a lot of times I will eat those calories back. So that means that on days where I am running, my maintenance, on FitnessPal, my maintenance calorie goal is like 2,150 calories a day. And so there are times where I will run and burn 1,000 calories. So that means that I need to eat almost 3,000 calories a day. And I'm going to tell you, I do. The last several weeks, I'd gotten way off with how I was eating my calories. And a lot of it was just junk. I mean, literally junk. And it has... and I got, for the last 2 weeks now, my protein has been down because I have not eaten enough protein at all. My average protein per day is like in the 60s, and usually it's in the 90s and above. Because I run so much, my protein goal should be between 90 and 135, and my carb goal should be anywhere between 300 and 400. And so I was pretty much getting most of the carbs most times, but I was not getting the protein. Like I said, it was downwards into the 60s. And this week it's been even worse. It was low 60s, I think. It could have even been 58. So, and one of the issues that I had the last 2 weeks is I'd stopped this right here. Yeah. I've been told that there's typically no way that we can get in the amount of protein that we need typically, especially when you're upwards into those higher amounts, if you don't drink at least 1 shake a day. And I'm finding that over the last few weeks to be true. Now that I'm bringing my shakes back, and I just actually, yesterday was the first time that I drank a shake again over like I said, about 2 weeks or so. And I think I ended up only getting about 78 grams of protein, but one of the reasons is because I took a nap and then ended up going to do my speed workout in the afternoon. And that speed workout actually took it out of me. It drained me. And so when I went to eat yesterday afternoon or evening, I think I got another 30 grams in, maybe 25 grams of protein in, but it's much harder to get that food in. So just trying to take my time and eat, and because I just didn't feel hungry. The other thing I've been doing, or that I've started that's new, and which probably it could definitely have a correlation, is that I've started an antidepressant. And so I've been taking those now for 2 weeks, which kind of coincides with the protein intake. And I don't know if I don't know if that has something to do with it or not. I'm not sure. Anyway, I didn't even tell you what my current weight is. My weight, and I'll probably be hopping around here and there, y'all, so just forgive me, because I don't have anything structured that I'm going to talk about with this week's update. So I just kind of thought I'd fill you in with where I am. And I'll probably end up talking about some of this again on my three-year surgiversary in a few weeks here, coming up in about 2 or 3 weeks. So anyway, my current weight is 147.8, and I don't know if you guys can tell or not. My face looks pretty good. I can see it in my eyes that my weight is a little lower. And what ends up happening is when I'm running in that heat, literally I'm sweating like crazy. and it is so it is water weight. It's not that I've lost any weight, so to speak, or that I've lost muscle or lost fat or anything. And my fat percentage is already low. It's like 16%, and which they say it doesn't need to go down. Essential fat, I think, for a woman is at 15%. So it needs to stay at 15%, maybe a little above. So I think 24% body fat is like ideal. 16%, 15% is the athletic type of a body percentage. So I sweat a lot, and so I salt my food to try and keep that sodium up. And then I also noticed on the last video I was talking about my fingers cramping. Well, today, just before I started doing the video, my toe cramped up, and so I know that the other thing that I'm needing is potassium. So I will end up starting a potassium supplement, and I probably have some in my cabinet, because I used to take a potassium and sodium supplements. I think it was a sodium supplement, but definitely a potassium supplement when I took blood pressure medication, because the blood pressure medication had a diuretic, and what it tends to do is to leach that potassium and sodium out of your muscles, and so you end up cramping, which is what I ended up doing. So anyway, that's one of the things that I will be adding to my regimen is some potassium, because like I said, I've just been sweating so much, and it's just been ridiculous. And so I constantly weigh, because I am trying to stay on top of it. If I don't weigh a couple times, usually my thing is I'm a daily weigher, and I've talked about that as well. But I weigh daily just to kind of keep myself on track. When I stopped weighing daily, when I started weighing periodically back in the day, that's when my weight just really ballooned. I've always been heavy, but that's when my weight really ballooned. And so I'm just, I'm always saying the other thing, because there's lots of things. But there's a national weight loss database or something like that. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it is a national kind of a research or database that does study on long-term maintenance of weight loss. And so one of the ideas that they have, or one of the concepts that they talk about as far as people who have maintained their weight for long periods of time, I think you have to have maintained maybe 5 years or more on that site to be considered as successful. And so they are successfully having kept your weight off. And one of the things that they talked about was that you was daily wears, and that daily wears tend to keep weight off way more often than anybody else. And then one of the things my nutritionist said was that those who end up going to the nutritionist often, even after their surgery, tend to be most successful in maintaining their weight and keeping their weight off. So those are two things to think about when you are looking at how to maintain your weight. So I am a daily weigher, and when I'm running often, I'm training for marathons right now, and I'm really trying to increase my time. So I'm running a lot more. I'm running in the mornings, most mornings, and then most days I'm running in the morning, and then there are Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. There are 3 days out of the week where I run in the afternoon as well with a paid group. I am an ambassador, so my fee is covered, but I would suggest for anybody, if you are near or have a Fleet Feet that is close to you or in your town, that you join. The fee here is about $85 for the program, $85 or $95. and they provide several group runs during the week. They provide water stops during the group runs. They have coaches that are there. They do a warm-up. They do a cool down. I mean, it is awesome. They also provide, like on Saturdays, they provide a, what do you call it? A snack afterwards, carb snack, and I think they have coffee and drinks, and then the camaraderie of the people that you meet and the information that you get has been so excellent. And I would suggest definitely, if you're trying to train and you're trying to get out there, to do that. Also, if you don't want to pay or you have the inability to pay, there is a group called Black Girls Run, which I'm an ambassador of here in Oklahoma as well. That group is totally free, and just dependent upon your local BGR chapter, that depends on it. Depending on your local BGR chapter is what will determine when your runs are, whether they're in the mornings or the afternoons. Our local chapter has a run that we do almost every single day. We have official runs Monday through Friday. And then on Saturday and Sunday, we typically will text each other, or we'll post on the Facebook page and see where everybody is running. And we will end up getting together and running over the weekend as well, because it is so much better when you're with a group, as far as being held accountable, as far as being able to push yourself and to challenge yourself. It is just so much better. Sorry, I got an appointment coming up, and I think that was the thing. Let me see what time it is. Yeah, I'll say I got a little while. So anyway, so I weigh daily, because with those afternoon runs especially, so I ended up getting on the scale probably 3 times a day. I'll usually get on the scale, sometimes 4, and I'll tell you why. Especially on the 3 days that I run twice, because I'll weigh in the morning, and then when I get home, I'll weigh to see how much weight I've lost, so that I can see how much water to drink. So then I drink to try and build that water weight back up. And then I will then weigh right before I go. Sometimes I don't always remember to do that, but sometimes I'll weigh before I go on my afternoon runs, and then I will weigh after I get home. A lot of times I forget to weigh before, or I don't weigh. Not that I necessarily forget, I just don't weigh before I go on the run, but I'll weigh after, and I'll just use that after weight. I'll base it off of the after weight from the morning, the second weigh-in. And so that really determines what I need to do as far as water is concerned. A lot of times there's not much I can do in the evening times, but what I can do to help in the evening times to get the water back, I may not be able to drink as much water, but with my dinner, I can salt my food. And salting my food will help me to retain some water. And that way, it'll help me build that water back up. So I hope that makes sense. There's so many things that I'm still learning about running, and about my weight, and about this maintenance, and it's so much. But anyway, y'all, that is it. I'm not gonna keep y'all anymore. Those were just some details about maintenance, and about, when you start exercising, what you need to do, and especially exercising in this hot weather. And I just, I'm doing okay. I'm doing pretty good. It just is what it is, life. And we just keep on trucking, right? We just keep on trucking. So anyway, y'all, I love y'all. Keep praying for me as I keep praying for y'all. And I'll give you an update on Dion and his, I think I may have updated y'all on his cardiologist appointment. I can't remember, but I'll give y'all an update on that probably next week after he goes to endocrinologist. And then, Oh yeah, I don't know if I told y'all I had a dang, this video is going to be so long. I don't know if I told y'all I have a consult coming up on September 4th for plastic surgery for my arms and my tummy. And I'll tell you more about that next week. I'll try to wait till after the what is it? The consult, and tell you more about that. And then hopefully maybe I'll get to videotape a little bit during the consult. So that would be neat. So anyway, peace out, babies. Mwah.